Hello guys, welcome to Good Macro Projects. We're going to design this application using React Hooks and Redux. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following. 1. npm install Redux. 2. npm install React Redux. And 3. npm install Redux dev tools extension. Good. So that is that. With all said and done, let's begin. To begin with, let's create 3 folders in our SRC folder. Call one assets. Create another one and call it components. And create another one and call it Redux. Good. Now with the first one, assets, let's create another folder inside and call it images. So we need our 2 images. We need on and off images from the internet. I go to the internet and grab some images. So I grab them and I take it to the assets folder using the backdoor. Okay. So I locate the folder I'm working in, call it assets, images. Then I paste it there nicely. Good. So our images are ready. Good. You can see our images are ready over here. Good. So that's that with the asset folder. Next is to go to the component folder. Now in our component folder, what do? We create a folder. Let's create a folder here and call it light. Then inside the lights folder, let's create another file called light.js. Good. Now boilerplate is ready. So instead of ordinary div, let's make it React or fragment. Good. So now we can just say with an h1 tag, we can say hello to display on the screen. So we say hello. Now to see this hello on the screen, we need to link it to the app.js. So to do that, we say light self-closing tag. Good. So let's import light. We say import light from where? Components and light.light. Good. So let's check our browser to see if it's good. We're ready to go. So we go to our lights.js to begin. Now to begin, let's look at the structure of our application. So this is going to be the structure. Let's build a header and another one. Let's build a body. Then let's build a footer. Okay, something like this. Then inside the body, we have our image, then inside the footer we have our button, something like this. Okay, now coming to our page setup. No Bootstrap has 12 columns, so we want to use the middle region. To be able to do that, we create a free this is 3. Okay, so the next one will be 6, the last one will be 3, so 3 6 3, so that we can use the middle region. So that is that for the page setup. Okay, so I think we can begin now. So let's take this off. Good. Let me say div, give the class name, call it row, give it a margin top, sorry, give it a margin top 5. Good. Now inside the row, let's create a column. So we say div class name column md 3. Okay, then inside the same row, copy that and create md6. So we say call md6. So we're going to work in the 6 region. The 3 will just be empty so that we can work in the middle region. So inside the md6, what do? We need a card. So we say div class name, call it card. Now inside the card, we need 3 things. We need the header, body, and footer. So we say div, give the class name, and call it card header. So likewise, we copy that 3 times. So we say card header, next one will be card body. The next one, card footer. Great. Now in the header, what do we need? We need an h2 tag and give it a name light app. Okay, so that is that. Now in the card body, what do we need? We need 2 images. So let's call our images. The image tag, we say img src src, let's call it on image with an alt name, the same thing. Okay, on image, then with a width of 220 and a height of 280. So that is that with the image. Now since we need 2 images, let's just copy that for the second image. So we say just change the name and make it off image. Now let's import them. So we say import on image from where? No. Good. From light? No. From assets. Good. Assets images dot on image dot png. Good. So it's the same thing like the other. So let's copy and just change the name. So we have here of image, good, and here too of image. So that is that for the body. And let's go to the footer. What do we want? We want to create, we need two buttons. So we say button button. Good. The button we want on, the caps on and off. So let's copy that. Good. So the second one, we call it off. Good. And let's check the screen to see how things are doing. Great. What we do need to do next to center it, then add some font weight to it. So let's do that. To center it, let's go to the card and say test center. Test center. Good. And the font weight, let's say class name equals font weight, font weight bold. No, we copy that class, we need it on the button too. So I'll take it here to the button. I say font weight bold. We all need it. Good. So let's check our. Great. It looks nice. Now let's add some colors to our header, button, and the whole body. Let's start from the button. We can say, let's give it btn. This is on, so let's give it green. So we say btn success. Good. And the second one, we give it btn danger. Good. So let's check our background colors. Good. Let me do that in the CSS. Okay. CSS. So we say first one, we say body. Body. What do we give? Let's give it a background color of E1 dB. Good. Now next, the cat body. Cat body. Oh, the period. Good. The cat body. What do we? Let's give it a background color of hash EBE7B5. Good. So that is that with the body. Now let's look at the card. Period. Card header. Let's give it a background color of 65686E. Then the color of white smoke. Good. I think that is that. So let's check browser to see how it's doing. Great. Exactly how we wanted. So next to do is how to work on the functionality so that we can have one image on the screen and one button on the screen at a time to add our click to it. So Let's go. So we go to our Redux folder, down with the component. Let's go to our Redux folder. So in our Redux folder, we create a file called store. Good. We also create another file called root reducer.js. Good. Then in the same Redux folder, let's create another folder and call it light Redux. Good. Now in the light Redux, let's create a file and call it light.actiontypes.js. Good. Now in the same light Redux folder, let's create another file called light.actions.js. Good. Now in the same light Redux again, let's create another file, call it light.reducer.js. Good. Very good. So we should be good to go now. Let's take the first one, light.actionTypes. So this tells us the kind of action we want. So we say export const fetch light, which equals the same name, fetch light. Good. So that is that with the action type. Now let's go to the actions. Now in the actions, what do we want? Now in the actions, what do we want? The first thing is to import our action types. So we say import fetch light from action types. Good. So now we can say, now let fetch light be equal to a function. Good. That will return a type called fetch light. Okay, comma, and a payload called on light, GHT on light. So now we can export our fetch light. Export our fetch light. Good. So next thing is to go to the light reducer. Now what do we do? The first thing to do is to import our fetch light, which we did in the action. So let's copy it and just paste it in the light reducer. Good. So next is to create a feature key in the store. So we say export const light key, which equals light store. So the name in the store should be called light store. Okay. And now we can create our initial state. We say let initial state equal to switch the value false. Okay, so we want the false. When it's clicked, then we can have it on. So now we can say let light reducer be equal to a function where state equal to initial state, comma action. Then we can further have our let action, we say type, comma payload be equal to action. So for our switch to bracket type, we can say that we have a case where fetch light is being called, then return what? Switch, such that the states will not be dot switch. Okay, so that the state will not be false but will be true. Okay, so that is that. So now we can create our default case. So we say default case should return state. So that is that. We can now export our light reducer. So we say export light reducer. So that is that with the light reducer. So the next thing is to go to the root reducer. So before we go there, let's import we need the light reducer and the feature key, okay, and the light key. So we say light key from light reducer from light reducer. So that is that. So next we import combine reducers from Redux. Okay. So now we can say let root reducer be equal to combine reducers into bracket. We link the store. So we say light store with the value light reducer. Good. So we can now export our root reducer. So we say export root reducer. Good. The next thing is to go to the store. So we say store. What do we want in the store? First thing is to import the root reducer. So we say import root reducer from root reducer. Good. So next, import create store from Redux. Then next we import compose with DevTools from where Redux DevTools extension. Good. So now we can say let store equal to create store into bracket root reducer comma compose with devtools function. So now we say export store. Good. So that is that for the store. Now let's link the store to the component in the app.js. So in the app.js, first thing is to import the store. So we say import store from Redux store. Good. Next is to import another one, provider from React Redux. Good. So we can now wrap the provider around the light. So we say provider store equals store. So we just cut the provider and put it under. So we say over, so we wrap it around it and just make it nice. Great. So that is that with the store. Let's check our browser to see how our application is doing. Great. It didn't complain. This means our data should be in the store. So let's go check it out. We go to the store, open the store, I go to the state, check the chart view, check the row view while we have our data in the store. So we have light store is given a switch with a value false. So now the next thing is to link the store to the component. So let's see how to do that. To do that, we go to the component, the light components, and import two hooks. We call import use dispatch, comma use selector from React Redux. Good. So next, how do we view the store? We view it through use selector. So let's say view store. So to do that, let's call use selector. So we select view light equal to use selector. Use selector gives us a function good, where state can return state light key. Good. So this should help us view the store. So the store is now view light. So to see the store, we can see the store. So to do that, let's give it a pre tag here. So we can say, sorry, query tag. Inside a query tag, we call JSON.stringify bracket view light. Good. So this should help us in the store. So let's go check it out. So we can see the store. We say switch is given the value false in the store. Okay. So with our click buttons, we can either make the switch false or true. So let's see how to do that. To do that, we give a click event to our button. So we say on click equals, let's give it a name, click light. To click light. I'll do the same thing for the other button too. So they all have the same name. So we'll go just take it to the top and handle the click light. So we say handle click. We say let dispatch equal to use dispatch. Now we call our dispatch ready. So now we can call our dispatch in the click. So we say let click light be equal to a function where we say dispatch what action are we dispatching. So we go to our actions, fetch light. So go back to our component again and we say dispatch fetch light. Import our fetch light. So we say import fetch light from where? From light? Nope. From Redux. From React Redux and from light.actions. Good. So that is that. So let's go to the screen to see how it's doing. Great, no complaint. Let's see. Good. You can see that when we click it, it tells us true or false. So likewise, the buttons are the same, true or false, true or false, true or false. So now next is to use an if statement to make one of the images view at a time and one of the buttons view at a time. Okay, so how to do that? We go to our buttons, then we say, let's call our if statement. So we say if, so into bracket, view store, so you say view light dot switch equals false. If it's false, then what should it do? Which button should it display? If it's false, then display the on button. Okay, so we look for the on button, and this is the on button, so put it there nicely. will display the on button if it's false. Otherwise, display the off button. So we get the otherwise, display the off button. So that is that for there. So let's check it out. I see that the on button is here. Good. Now let's do the likewise for the images too. So the images, we say, let's get our if statement ready. So we say if view light dot switch equals false, what should you do? If it's false, what should you do? Display on image. No, display if it's false, then display the off image. Yeah, rather. If it's false, let's display the off image. So we cut it, take it there. Good. Otherwise, display the on image. So we say, we'll go there. Good. That is that. Let's check it out again. Great. So we can now on it, off it, on it, off it. You can see our switch to changes. On it, off it, on it, off it. So let's take our pre tag out. So look at our pre tag. Good. Take it out and just comment it. Let me check our application again. Good. I can off it, on it, off it, on it. So that is that for this application. Thank you very much for sticking through. Don't forget to do good. Love you. Bye.